Hi, I'm Kelly Thomas. Welcome to Ingenious Baby. Every week I'll interview leading experts to help you help your child reach their full potential so that your child can become all that they were born to be.
Welcome to Ingenious Baby.
Exploring new cultures, food, traditions, and language is a great way to expand your child's intelligence. Today, we're here with Alejandara Campomar, the founder of Buenos Aires Para Chicos, and she will tell us the best ways to enjoy this city with your children. So I am so excited to have you, Alejandra. You have made my trip to Buenos Aires amazing with my two children. When I was researching what to do with kids, like none of the tour books or guidebooks had the wealth of information that you did.
Thank you for having me here. And Buenos Aires for Children is a blog that is directed and intended for parents to find cultural and entertainment things for their children. Here always in Buenos Aires, and it is curated by me.
So if someone is traveling here and they haven't been here with their kids, what do you recommend? What are your top recommendations?
I would tell them to choose from a little bit of museums, a little bit of parks, and a little bit of cultural centers. The Museum of Sibori, it has also a very small cafe, which has a little park, so you can go and have a tostado that you must always try when you're in Buenos Aires. And then visit Palermo. And in the Palermo Park, you're going to have the Rosedal, which is an amazing park that was designed by Carlos Thais. So it's incredible. It has all the glamour of past years, so you must go there. There's a merry-go-round. There are restaurants all around there with a variety of things to taste. So that is a very nice place. Palermo also has a lagoon. Also in Palermo, you're going to find the Planetario, that is newly refurbished, so it's very interesting. It has a museum, and it has also a small show that you have always to find your tickets online. You have to book your tickets online. Okay. And then when you're in Palermo, also you can go to the Japanese garden. That it is a very small garden. It's private. There are some days that are free, but it is mostly very accessible. And that is also a visit you can do before going to Malva Museum. You can interconnect everything. Try to choose things by areas because Buenos Aires is a very big city. So if you try to go, I don't know, in the morning to the north of the city and then go to the south of the city during the afternoon, you're going to waste a lot of time in the commute. So try to choose things by the days and try to organize that by areas.
I've noticed personally there's a ton of cultural events. I've taken my kids to so many shows that are amazing, and even though they're in Spanish, they tremendously enjoyed it and wanted to come back. I mean, it's amazing compared to even San Francisco, the events and the cultural activities they have available to just even like a three-year-old.
From babies
on. Tell us more about that.
There are activities coming from the public area and from the private area, so there's a lot to choose from. And you're going to find a lot of variety from very different ranges of ages. So you can find theater, you can find art classes, cooking classes, you can find concerts, you can find parks. There's a lot of things to do, so that's very hard to choose from, and it's also very stimulating for the children.
It's very hard. I mean, there were so many. Every day, I didn't know what to do because there were so many things to do. What are your top 10 things to do in Buenos Aires for kids?
If you're coming with babies, I'm surely going to choose the CCK that was previously the post office, the central post office. It's public, so it's free, and you can go and mostly on weekends, and you can go and have music classes. You can go to concerts, you can play, you can read books because there is a small library, and there's a free playing area, so that is absolutely amazing. You must go to La Usina. La Usina was an energy fabric, and now it is a cultural center. It is very important, and it is in the south of the city. And a lot of people say like, oh, I don't want to go to the south of the city, but if you go there, it's very easy to access. And you will find a lot of concerts every weekend, and you're going to find workshops for children, and sometimes you have festivals, so it's amazing. The place is beautiful. Just to see that it's amazing. It's worth the trip. And then I think you should really check museums. From the National Arts Museum, it has a lot of activities for children. There are visits just directed to them with a puppet, so it is very accessible to them. They're going to find things in every art piece, and then you will end all the visit with an art class, and they put in practice everything they learned walking in the museum. So it's an amazing experience. Then you have Proa. That Proa has a special suitcase for children that you go inside the museum and you open the suitcase and the adventure starts, because you're going to have a booklet with activities to go through everything in the exposition. So it's very interesting. And it was a museum that was mostly for grown-ups, so it was very hard to go in there with children, and now it's completely accessible. You can also go to the C3. It's for teenagers, and you can also go with small children, but they're not going to understand everything, but it's also worth the trip because it's free. It's in Palermo. It's very easy to go there, and it's an area full of restaurants, so you can complement the visit. And you're going to have a lot of concepts of math and science and physics. And it also has an amazing park with a lot of games to play with and take amazing pictures, so you must go there.
I'm here in the winter, and obviously I hit a great time because it's the winter holidays, and there were so many amazing activities that we were able to take advantage of, many of them free. So tell us about the different times of year. Are there better times to visit than others?
During the year, you're going to find that winter is very crowded because schools are off on their activities, so everything is going to be very packed. I don't know if that is good or bad. You're going to have a very big agenda, but places are going to be crowded. So summer is also a very good time. You're going to have less activities, but the climate is very hot, so sometimes it's hard to move children around. It's 30 degrees around.
Very hot.
It's very hot climate, so I don't know if that's the best time. There are things to do during the whole year. So the thing that changes is the agenda at every place. There are always festivals. You can find festivals also during the winter or during the summer and in between. So it's a bit unpredictable, but it's also great. You are going to find centers with activities every weekend. The hardest is to find activities during the weekdays. Weekends are always easy. Weekdays are the hardest if you're not from here. Because if you are from here, most people put their children into workshops, private workshops, and have their own agenda. So it's hard to come and get into a workshop because spots are really hard to find. You're going to find with science workshops, there are art workshops, there are pottery workshops, cooking, whatever you try to, whatever you want to find, you're going to find it.
They're after-school programs.
After school, People here are very used to go to school and then do workshops.
Kids start school at what age?
Here they go to kindergarten around 3 years old, and then they go to school until they are 17.
Okay.
And the school is sometimes during half a day, and a lot of schools are the whole day until from 8 o'clock on the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's a lot of time, and a lot of children after that they go and do sports or workshops or English. If you were not from here, I would rather use the weekdays to know all the neighborhoods and to have a coffee and go to the museums and get to know the place, and then make a very tight agenda for the weekends. The best thing to go somewhere here is always at the first time when it opens. The opening time is the best time to get, because people are always getting to places at 3 p.m. and it's always late. It's very packed.
I've noticed too, and things here don't open until 1 o'clock for kids, which is very opposite from where I'm from.
Mornings you have nothing to do. A lot of people. Morning and during the night you have nothing to do. It's very hard, places you can go to eat with children.
Oh, is that right? So I was going to ask about that. So I don't
like when you go to Spain, I see kids, out with everybody. Here I have not seen kids, and so people don't go out with their kids.
It's hard.
Perception of
I did a post about a week ago because I wanted to ask people what was their secret when they wanted to go to it someplace. And that is a very good post. It has a lot of likes and a lot of comments. So if you need directions and addresses and tips and everything, that's supposed to go to. So that has a lot of information.
So what do people do with their kids here in the morning before everything opens?
People wake up very late. They have dinner around 9 or 10 p.m. So that is what you should expect. Like people wake up very late, they go to work very late, around 9, 10. So the whole schedule, it's a little bit changed.
Later. Right?
Yeah. And the kids in the morning, they usually go to nurseries or they go to school or they stay at home with playing groups.
Okay.
But if you wanted
with a local play group.
Yeah,
okay.
you can do that. You have play groups in English, you have play groups in Spanish.
And how do you find those?
It's a little bit of a secret. Like you tell people you know about that, and you contact a teacher that is organizing that, and she makes the group. But it's around 6 children. They're not very good.
And is parent involved, or you drop the kid off?
No, you mostly drop off the kids.
And what age does that start?
You can have playgroups from a year and a half to 3 years. That is before starting kindergarten.
Okay.
And then you have music groups. Those are always in special places. You go to the place and you participate of a music group or an art group.
So it's a secret thing to do something like that.
I mean, it's not really secret, but it is just like word of mouth thing. That's how you know about that. You should also try to visit the libraries. They are not very impressive, but they are places where you have a lot of variety of books, and you can know people that are also interested in the same things that you are interested. That is also the value of the libraries here.
I think it's, especially it's such an amazing experience to take your kid to another country and give them the different perspective, world perspective, and just having your blog as a resource is a valuable resource for people who are wanting to travel here.
Thank you.
Is there anything different you think that moms do here that maybe they don't do in the U.S. or someplace else?
I think that the language is also something positive. A lot of people speak in English, so you're going to find that if you don't have the words in Spanish, a lot of people are going to be able to help you. And another thing is, I think that people here are very friendly. So if you go to a park and you sit and you start chatting with another mom, she's going to tell you a lot about her lifestyle, a lot about the neighborhood, a lot of tips she has. So they are very open and you can quickly find where you're standing. People here are like brothers and sisters, even with people you don't know. So they are very eager to collaborate, and if you're in need of anything, they are going to help you. And if people eat a lot in here in the houses, or if you get to know someone, it's very likely they are going to invite you over and have play dates in the houses. It's very common here.
That's great.
So that is something you should know.
My kids have had a blast, and I have had a great time. So where can people go for more information?
Well, you can go to my web, that is buenosairesparachicos.com, or you can go to my Instagram, that is Buenos Aires Para Chicos.
So it's a wonderful place to visit, and I'm so happy that I had you as a guide for our activities. So
thank you for visiting us. It is amazing for us to have people around the world enjoying the same things that we enjoy.
If you know someone who'd be a great fit for the show, come on over to ingeniousbaby.com and share your tips and story ideas. You are your baby's first and best teacher.